School.
Whoop whoop! Things get heated at the S5 and 6 Scottish Independent debate.
We asked you what you think of the new House structure.
And Mr McClory has an undetermined message. And his party visited the high school recently to take part in their annual school visits.
Here's how it went.
Surrey had his troops divided when he turned them loose to plunder. Then just west that they wonder. Teary bussy, teary on his sons of he was slain and fallen. Imitating border roaming, hiding behind lights and calling.
Run me through the bows and arrows, through the swords like veteran heroes. Charge the foe with native valor, round the diamond and valor.
Teary bussy, teary on his sons of he was slain and fallen. Imitating border roaming, hiding behind lights and calling.
Peoples from S5 and 6 were recently invited to the Scottish Independence debate chaired by Jessica and Kyle.
Guests from the Yes campaign, including Sarah Beattie-Smith of the Green Party and Paul Wheelhouse of the SNP.
From Better Together, there was Michael Moore and John Lamont from the Conservative Party.
A variety of questions were asked. We went there to catch the answers.
Welcome to the Hawick High School 2014 Independence referendum debate. Thanks for coming along. The point of today's event is to hopefully help you make a decision about how you vote on September the 18th on Scottish independence. I know there'll be some of you in the audience that unfortunately won't quite be old enough to vote then. Apologies for that, but I think there had to be a catch-off if you made it 15 years and 9 months. It gets quite complicated for the forms to be filled and so on. But the vast majority of you, for the first time in British history, are going to be allowed to vote even though you're not 18. And I think that's a huge privilege, and I would really like you to use that vote in September, whichever way you choose to vote. The participation for people your age in politics is something that's often criticised for not being enough, and I would like you to prove the people on TV and the radio wrong and get involved. I would like really high participation rates from all the people your age all over Scotland.
Energy policy is actually reserved for the Westminster Parliament. Scotland only has influence on energy through the planning system, so we have a moratorium on new build of nuclear power stations in Scotland, and we influence energy through planning systems, but ultimately energy policy is actually reserved to the UK government. Ed Davey is the UK Energy Secretary from Michael Moore's party, and they control the energy pricing system to connect to the grid. How the charging goes through the energy market. It's not the Scottish Government that controls that at all. More's the pity. We wish we could, because we'd be in a position to develop the renewables industry in our islands and our northwest of Scotland, where there's punitive connection charges to the grid at the moment, which means, as Sarah's saying, that it's very difficult to see those projects come to pass. It's not just about wind either. Tidal power is a massive opportunity. We have the first commercial tidal power array, which has been consented through the planning system in Scotland up in the Pentland Firth between Orkney and Caithness in the north of Scotland. An Oxford University and Edinburgh University study recently concluded But that one area of Scotland alone, if just using tidal power, could provide enough power for 43% of all the households in Scotland.
We have more economic opportunity than we would have on our own. When you look around the mills in Hawick, look at MTEL along the other end of the town, where they're going hugely successfully in terms of investing in broadband across the country. They are doing the ducts, the fibre optic cables that are lighting up and connecting homes the length and breadth of Britain and the world. They can trade across the UK very straightforwardly from their base here in Hawick. Why would we want to make it more difficult or more challenging to do that? In terms of economic resilience too, it matters. When things were really, really tough, and the banks collapsed a few years ago, the fact that the whole of the United Kingdom stood behind the Royal Bank of Scotland, the Bank of Scotland, both well represented here in the town, that meant that we did not have the crisis that befell many other countries around Europe. And I think that is something worth remembering. And beyond that, one last point is about our place in the world. My view, and we'll no doubt explore this further, that we have greater security and a stronger place in the world by being part of the United Kingdom. We're at the top tables in Europe, NATO and the United Nations Security Council. That is something special and important, and I think worth hanging on to. Thank you.
The old houses, Vertish, Minto, Bartoff and Carpton, have been scrapped and replaced by Scott, Turnbull and Douglas, which are the old traditional names from Hawick.
But not everyone is happy with the changes. A poll conducted by Hawick High News revealed an astonishing 83% of you are not happy with these changes.
We went out into the school to see what people thought of it.
Alba on Facebook says she liked the old houses and it will take time to adjust.
Shanice has an opposite view, saying that it's a good idea and change is always nice.
Another said there's no need for the change. They were fine.
One other pupil told us that they have to split up from their friends and now have no one.
Aww.
So why was the houses changed?
Okay, the main reason for the change in the house is that the school roll has fallen slightly, so we've got less pupils within the school, and in having 3 houses instead of 4, it means that we could have 2 of our other pupil support teachers included in the houses, so it means that each house has 2 pastoral teachers rather than 1. So it means that the pupil staff ratio is smaller, which means that pupils will get a better service because they'll have staff will have more time to spend with individual pupils as well as groups of pupils, and it gives us an opportunity to sort of reinvigorate the house system so that we're using it for their personal support period when we have house assemblies, when we're having the achievement days, and we can have more competitions with the houses as well, like academic, curricular, but fun as well, so that it gets the pupils together. So I think it was a really good opportunity to just sharpen up the structure, have the staff engage with that. They were really keen for it. They could see the benefit because they can work with more pupils, and I think the pupils ultimately are going to get a better service because they'll have the support in terms of the pastoral support, but they'll have staff there working with them on how well they're achieving and how they're attaining as well. So that's my main reason.
We did a poll and 83% of people says they weren't happy. Why do you think that was?
I think the main thing and it's something that I've learned within the school, because coming in halfway through the year, I've had to sort of make some decisions quite quickly. Normally where I'd like to consult the pupils and the parents and the local community, sometimes I just haven't had the time for that. And I think what we're trying to do here is for the best for the pupils. They might not understand it, but we'll spend some time with them at the start of the new term during assemblies explaining it in more detail. But I think once they see the kind of level of service they're getting and maybe increased attention as well, because staff might have that bit more time to spend with them, I think they'll see the benefits of it. And the fact that we're going to be doing a lot more house-based activities, they'll have a bit more of identity, and I think they'll start to see it working. So I think the main reason probably they're not happy is that the communication could have been better from me and we could have been consulting a little bit more.
Well, that's nearly it for this June episode, but before we go, Mr McClory has an end of term message.
Okay, this is Mr McClory, head teacher, Hawick High School. Just want to wish everybody in the whole school and local community a very, very happy summer holidays. Make sure you look after yourself, be safe, have a great time and enjoy yourselves. That's the most important thing. Just to say, this has been my first 6 months and I have to say it's been a tremendous time. I've very much enjoyed my work and my time here at Hawick High School, and I've seen that the staff are very committed, excellent staff, the pupils are great, very enthusiastic about their learning. There's real potential here, I think, that we're going to get even better in what we do. So I'd like to wish all my staff, all the pupils and the parents all the very best for the summer, and I'm looking forward to having my first full year at the school, working with everybody, and very excited about that. So good luck, take care, and I'll see you all in mid-August. Thanks.
We hope you have enjoyed this good episode of Hawick High News. We will see you again after the summer, bringing you all the latest news from Hawick High School. And so, from all the teams here, we hope you have a great summer.